Fight, and fight we will. We've got an amazing show lined up for you. Sorry to be a little late. We were just talking and gabbing, and it was just amazing. We've got, obviously, I'm going to bring on the amazing Shady Grooove, my partner in justice. Shady, welcome to the show, brother.
Matrixxx, thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Yeah, we were yapping in the background, weren't we?
We were yapping. We've got, I'm also going to bring in Karli. Come on in. Karli is here. Karli, welcome.
I'm here. Hi, guys.
There she is. That's our Karli.
I'm here.
Karli Bonet. So then we've also got the amazing, with all this stuff coming out, man, I'm telling you, we've got so much Epstein stuff coming out. I wanted to have Liz back on the show, and she was gracious enough to come on. We've got the amazing, beautiful, talented, smart, amazing Liz Crokin. Liz, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Oh my gosh, we're doing so good. And you know, I'm so happy to hear you. But I wanted to really quick, just take a quick, guys. Did you guys watch the Trump rally? Press 45 if you guys saw the Trump rally last night.
Oh my goodness, what a show!
Wow,
man, I tell you what.
So I actually had plans, and I wasn't able to see it live. So I get back to our, research area, and Kiwi Patriots said, "Did you see that?" Look at the 45s there. Look at that. God bless you all. Every one of you voting for Donald Trump.
Look at all these winners.
That's all I care about. I don't care if you like the color green or blue. As long as you're voting for Donald Trump, that's all I care about. That we gotta keep this. We gotta fight for our country, guys, and this is it. They thought she would never lose. So Kiwi said, "Hey, did you see that POTUS basically confirmed your NRO thread?" I'm like, "What?" So let's just take a listen really quick. And there's the Q post tying it all in. Here we go.
Decide for yourself.
NASA, when we took it over, it was exhausted. The runways and the grounds had all weeds growing through the cracks in the concrete. You wouldn't recognize it now. It's beautiful. It's the best place anywhere on Earth. And I also said, though, I hear all these rich guys, for some reason they love space. So they're rich. I said, let them send the rockets up. What the hell do we have to do it, right? So I see Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. They're putting rockets up. I think it's great. And they pay us rent. They use our facility. That's great. But we're also doing it. And NASA has some of the greatest plans we've ever had. These are great people, great scientists. But we also let the private sector put up rockets. The one which recently went up, and you see the engines coming back down. And they're coming. There's no wings, no nothing. It's almost like, what are we watching? Is this fiction? And they come down, and they save all of the propellants, all of the really the most expensive parts. They're able to save it by bringing it back right to where it took off. Who would think they could do this? I never saw this before 6 months ago, but they're doing it now more and more. They're saving a lot of the most important and expensive parts of rockets. So we have a lot of rich guys paying us a lot of rent, but we're also doing it ourselves. To protect America's security, I withdrew the United States from the horrible one-sided Iran nuclear deal.
So guys, that's it right there. Eye of Ra. We've got the patches with the Eye of Ra. Obviously, that's the left eye marker. Symbolism, evil, stupid, justice. Everything that was just said is in this thread right here, guys. And I am just so honored. And also, he has been tweeting a lot about Elton John. Rocket Man! I'm sure that's a coincidence, right?
No, yeah, coincidences.
Right. Also, I want to bring up one more thing, and then we're going to get on to the show. First of all, I did donate $100 to Lieutenant Michael Flynn because it is Flynn Friday, and that is because of you guys. That's the reason why I am able to donate. I try to donate as much as possible because I'm not here to, do anything crazy. I'm here to support this movement, support our general. Also, don't forget, this is the conference in Atlanta. I have invited Liz Crokin. I'm going to see if we're going to talk to her in a second to see if she's going to come. But for God and Country, Digital Soldiers, this will raise about $60,000 to $100,000 from for General Flynn's Legal Defense Fund. If you can go there, we might have Blessed to Teach there. We might have some other people like Liz there. We might have Ann Vandersteel there. We might have Just Informed Talk there. We might have
Shady
Dustin
might be
Nemos.
there.
We might have Shady. All right, so proud of
I'm
you
going to
guys.
be there.
And I want to just do one more quick decode for you guys. I don't know if you saw it, but our president said, Andrew, thank you. We will never forgive or forget. Right? Who says that, Shady?
Anonymous people.
We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Expect us. I tweet that quite often.
Yeah. So there you go. Now he's talking about Parkland. Okay. So he's talking about anonymous. We're anonymous. I'm not anonymous anymore, but so let's look at Parkland, right? So let's look at Parkland. Parkland is a distraction. Parkland was specifically organized and designed to distract, test, watch the news. Actors are acting. Fake. No power. Justice will be served to those playing the game. All. Guns are safe. Trust the plan. And then guess what, Shady? This post right here, 775. And Anon says, just throwing a little more info out there. Don't know if it has any relevance. Cell phones were originally analog. The switch over to digital was very gradual. Digital signals allow multiple greater distance to be covered on much less power, right? This is, thus the miniaturization of phones. Because of the nature of the square digital waves, much more effective at filtering noise and interference. This inherently means that the phones of today are going to be square wave signals and very low power. If that alone were enough, Q would not exist, right? They would simply shut him, them, and or us down, so they may act as a trigger, but are enough by themselves to completely program a human. And Parkland would suggest that you really need somebody who is largely predisposed towards moving the desired direction to begin with, right? To begin with. You can't just flip a switch and a born pacifist suddenly become Rambo. Talk to me, Johnny. What 3 scientists were killed who were researching the SAT relay of mobile phone signals to end users? Why was this research deemed classified? Q. So, basically, we've got GE, Marconi. Marconi became another company, and then Marconi today is British Aerospace, who uses SAPs, who might be under NRO, who are using cell phone technology to trigger all of these people for shootings.
And for just in general acting out in unusual manner.
Right.
And the whole, worldwide, I mean, everybody is
the
kind of
division,
coming out of their skin a little bit.
Yeah, the mind control. So, they
Right.
wanted to figure out how to better mind control through, the television, not your vision, your channeling. What channel are you watching?
Programming.
What program are you watching, right?
Get with the program. How many times do we hear that?
Get with the program. So I thought that was very interesting. And, we're really starting to see when Q is not around, we need to look to Q plus. Okay, guys? And there's been a lot of confirmations. So with that, I want to just turn it back. Because this is about Epstein. This is the Liz Crokin Day, but we've got and Karli Day, of course. But we've got so much to cover. Liz, let me get you over here so we can see you. And there's Shady. How you doing? So we talked to you about 2 weeks ago, and a lot has happened. What do you think is going on? Like what's your here's Bill Clinton in his dress.
This is making news, Matrixx.
Here it is.
Can you believe this?
Well, I can't. I can't even remember exactly what had been exposed at that point in time when I was on your show. But what I said on your show, I do remember what I did say on your show when I last came on is that we are only at the tip of the iceberg, and we're only going to find out more and more revelations that are going to horrify people. And the island was just not limited to child sex trafficking. They were doing all kinds of crazy, horrible, sinister things on that island, particularly to children. And it wasn't just raping children. It wasn't just trafficking children. These people were involved in satanic rituals. These people were involved in sacrificing children. These people were involved in doing the most horrific and horrendous things you could ever imagine to children. These people are also complete and total freaks, and so the onions is continuing to getting more and more peeled, and we're starting to see just how just freaky these people are. I mean, look at the painting of Bill Clinton in the blue dress. So is Bill Clinton a drag queen? Do these people hang out and dress up in drag all the time? My guess would be yes. I actually found an old article, I think it was in the Daily Mail, one of the British newspapers, and it was one of Bill Clinton's ex-mistresses that went on the record and said that when she would hook up with Bill Clinton, he loved to dress up in her dress and her negligee and dance around in it. Okay, so we're starting to learn how bizarre and creepy and abnormal these people are. And in terms of the painting with Bill Clinton in the dress, we all know the significance of the blue dress and the blue dress that Monica Lewinsky wore that, Bill Clinton left, evidence of himself on. But there's also pictures floating around of Hillary Clinton wearing what looks to be exactly the same dress. So I don't know if that could be Hillary's dress or maybe that's one of Monica's dresses. I mean, you never know with these people. But the deeper symbolism to that painting is the red shoes. Now, people that have been following me and people that have been researching Pizzagate understand that there's symbolism with the red shoes. And the people that are involved in the pedophile satanic cabal love their red shoes. Now, these red shoes worn by the elites are often, if not always, made out of human leather. And I would even go further to say that they wear red shoes made out of the human leather of some of their victims, because we know that these people love to torture humans and children, and they also love their trophies, and they also love to flaunt their trophies. So that's the symbolism behind the red shoes. And again, as I said weeks ago, when the news broke with Jeffrey Epstein and we first started hearing about, his pedophilia and the child sex trafficking on the island, I told everybody to brace yourselves because it's going to get way darker, way more sinister, and way creepier. And here we are, all these strange things are starting to come out. The painting, and we're starting to learn more about the people that went to the island. We're starting to learn more about all the strange and bizarre things that Jeffrey Epstein had in his residences, whether it be his New York residence or the island. And we're still at the tip of the iceberg.
At the tip of the iceberg, absolutely. And it reminded me, we were kind of talking yesterday, and it reminds me of my birthday post on February 12th, 2018, my actual birthday. Controlling the crops controls the people. Sheep might be reaching, but throwing it out there. Coincidence, the Matrixx movie grew people as a crop used for energy and controlled their mind. Sound familiar? Wonder where they derived that idea from. And this is the part that I want to point out. Now comes the conspiracy label. The deeper we go, the more unrealistic it all becomes.
Yep.
That choice to know will be yours. Q. And I forgot, the end won't be for everyone. So again, I kind of point this out too, Liz, to a lot of people, that we need to look at the negative, because if we don't look at the negative, we're just going to get more negative. I know this might not feel good for people to talk about, but it needs to be talked about. Otherwise, we're going to get more of the same.
Well, yeah, people need to know the truth, because the only way to stop this is for the truth to be exposed.
Yeah.
The only way to get justice and for this never to happen again, people need to know what happened, and people need to know how bad it got. And so, I would like to have full exposure of everything. And again, if we want this horrible cycle to end and for these rings to end once and for all, people need to know what was going on, and people need to know how bad it got. And so the truth is horrible. It's a horrible pill to swallow. It's the black pill. But it's people need to know. People need to know what happened to these children.
That's right. Absolutely correct. As much as we don't want to hear it and we want to reject it, we don't want to believe, how can my government do something like that? Because we would never do something like that. We've got to realize that they don't think like we do. I mean, when you're a psychopath person that just wants complete control and wants you to live in a third world country, they don't care what you think. So this is very important to talk about. And here's
not only do they not think the same way we do, they're the opposite of us in the sense that the things that give us joy and make us happy, well, it's the opposite for them. So for example, hanging out with good people and being around animals and hugging my dog, that makes me feel good. Well, for them, hurting people and torturing people, including children. That's what makes them feel good. So these people are the complete opposite as you and I. And when people research this stuff and learn these things out, they have to understand that. And they also have to understand that they'll probably never really be able to understand the mindset of these psychopaths, but they have to understand that even though this is something that they would never do, and it's something that probably every single person in their life would never do, that doesn't matter. This is what these people do, and we are not like them. They are the opposite of us. They are not normal. These people, you call them demons. They're pure evil. They're soulless. They're not normal human beings. And what makes them happy, what gives them joy, is the opposite of what gives them joy. What gives them joy is hurting people. It's evil. What gives us joy is doing good.
Yeah.
So people need to flip their brains when they learn about this stuff, because it is so foreign to so many people. And I mean, I didn't even know this kind of evil existed. I knew clearly evil existed in the world, but I did not know it was this horrific and bad.
Mrs. P61 says, red shoes made from the children's skin. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yes.
You know,
no, they're not kidding. And that part is pretty thorough in the research and the and what you were talking about, Liz. It's so true, and we've gone through and seen so many people. And I've talked about this quite extensively, and actually I'm going to talk about it a little bit more tonight. But the people that go through this abuse are traumatized on both ends. They're not only traumatized by the abuse, and we see what is done in the name of whatever, and the sacrifice, the rituals, but they're also traumatized by society whenever they attempt to reintegrate or to function with others or to have have people believe them. They're so programmed that no one's going to believe you, no one's going to care what you say, no one's going to think that I am this famous Hollywood person that no one's ever going to believe a word you say. And then whenever they try to tell people things, then people actually don't believe them, and it's a terrible spiral that ends up going back in on itself and prevents the person from ever getting out what needs to come out of the in the expression to make the healing begin behind it, because you really can't heal until you have someone who can hold a little piece of you for a second so you can sort of see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and these people just throw their evil acts in our faces. I mean, I can't tell you how many celebrities have sent tweet after tweet after tweet talking about child rape, making light of pedophilia, quote unquote, joking about pedophilia. And I say that in quotes because I don't think they're kidding. But normal people read tweets like that and they just assume that these people are kidding. Well, I've never heard a child rape joke that was funny.
Me neither.
I don't think that child rape's funny in any context, ever.
No.
Ever.
No,
and
it's disgusting.
So number one, it's why are these people obsessed with talking about child rape and joking about raping children? Like, that's just within itself bizarre. But normal people hear that and they just go, oh, they're an actor, they're a comedian, it must be a joke. No, actually the joke's on you. They're not kidding. They're letting us know what they're doing, and that they actually believe in their religion, worshiping Satan, Baal, the devil, that they have to reveal what they're doing to get power from it. So that's why they throw it in our faces.
Yes.
And they throw the symbolism in our faces. But let me tell you, people, when Chrissy Teigen is tweeting about pedophilia, making light of it, when Sarah Silverman's doing it, when James Gunn is doing it, when Rainn Wilson,
Patton Oswalt,
and these aren't, it's not one tweet, it's not just one random tweet.
Right.
Ooh, oops, I shouldn't have said that. It's tweet after tweet after tweet. These people aren't kidding.
That's right.
They aren't kidding.
I wanted to take us real quick to the Peseurs in the red shoes. So historically speaking, this is true. The red shoes, if not always red souls, have long been associated with the issues of power and identity. During the reign of King Louis the 14th, the only aristocratic men had the right to wear the red shoes with red heels. They were strictly reserved for the court. Thus, the color neatly distinguished between the haves and the have-nots. The red dye at the time was expensive and made by crushing the dried bodies of imported Mexican insects called the cochineal, and only the royals and their cohort could afford it. The shoes went out of style with the French Revolution. No, they didn't, right? Not a time when one's flaunted wealth and status. And if you look at Q's posts, right, you've got that is nowhere next to normal. The picture above her is evil, and that's talking about Anderson Vanderbilt Cooper's mom, Gloria. And symbolisms will be their downfall. Focus on her necklace. Bottom charm has significant meaning. Find the match. Red shoes. So bottom charm has significant meaning. Red shoes. And here we have it tied to souls as well. You see? Mm-hmm. So you compare the pool versus the painting of kids in the red in red shoes, right? Yeah. So we just did a red shoes lookup, and here are the kids in the pool with the red shoes right here. Why the red shoes? And here you've got the Podestas right here in this picture here. Up in the upper right there. So there you go there. So also, you know, the people think their nobility essentially is what I'm gathering. But as we know, these people are Satanists. They are bad people, and they're pedophiles. And we had the Q post showing that, you know, that there's satanic stuff going on at the island, and there's also child crap going on at the island. So this is H.C. Anderson. H.C. contributed significantly to the demonic red shoe mythology. Walk in red shoes. Q 1832. At some point, it will not be safe for them to walk down the street. Pure evil. How many in Washington? Is that you, Shady?
No, I'm good.
That's okay. How many in Washington and those around the world in power worship the devil? That's a Q post. And here is the actual red shoe thing. So let me just read this. It says, she danced and was obliged to go on dancing throughout the night. The shoes bore her way over thorns and stumps till she was all torn and bleeding. She danced away over the heath to a lonely little house. Here, she knew, lived the executioner. And she tapped with her finger on the window and said, come out, I cannot come in, for I must dance. And the executioner said, I suppose you don't know who I am. I strike off the heads of the wicked, and I notice that my axe is tingling to do so. This is a bedtime story for kids, guys, just so you know.
And Christian Anderson.
Don't cut off my head, said Karen. For those I could not repent of my sin. Cut off my feet with the red shoes. And then she confessed all of her sin, and the executioner struck off her feet with the red shoes, but the shoes danced away with little feet across the field into the deep forest. So this is Anderson's moralistic fairy tale that may serve, you know, it's not the most appealing advertisement for red shoes, but it's probably something that they believed in. You see what I mean?
Well, yeah, and it's also, you know, it's you know, like think about the Little Red Riding Hood. Also, what's another? Judy Garland, The Wizard of Oz. You know, like it permeates in a.
Well, let's talk about The Wizard of Oz. So Dorothy wears the red shoes in The Wizard of Oz. Well, The Wizard of Oz is a movie that's been used to mind control children. And what happened on the set of The Wizard of Oz that was actually captured in the movie? Someone killed themselves. Someone, quote unquote, killed themselves, hung themselves on the set of The Wizard of Oz. And you could see the actual dead body hanging in the background in that film, in the original version of that film. Well, now knowing what we know, that probably was a satanic
intentional
sacrifice. Yep.
Yep.
Very
intentional. Absolutely. That's very interesting. And you know, we start to plug all this stuff in, like Matrixxx was just saying, oh, the children's books. Well, it's talking, you know, think about Hansel and Gretel. Okay, breadcrumbs, trying to get away from the witch that's putting them in the pot to cook them. You know, I mean, like every, you know, the Brothers Grimm, all these stories of trolls under bridges. I mean, really, you know, it's like it's all right there.
Yeah.
And here we've got Epstein's bodyguard on his former boss's lifestyle and suicide. This is a UFC fighter, Igor Zinoviev, went everywhere with Epstein. In his first interview, he says he thinks Epstein had help in ending his life.
Well, he definitely had some bones broken in his neck that do not line up with what would be considered a self-hanging.
What do you think?
I mean, the guy. I mean, we're talking about a 6-inch drop here, man. It's like you really cannot hang yourself in this situation.
Yeah, and with tissues, like the Terrence guy, he's like, I can't hang myself with tissues. What are your thoughts?
I saw that.
What are your thoughts, Liz, on that? Like, do you think, because I'm a guy and that's an anon that needs facts, right? I'm a fact person, and, no matter if I like it or not, if it's a fact, it's a fact. I take all my emotions out, right? I did not ever see Epstein walking into MCC. I never saw Epstein in MCC. I never saw a perp walk. I never saw any of that. I did see some weird pictures that came out of the New York Post, if you want to talk about those as well. I mean, what is your take on this? Do you have a take or a theory?
Well, I think everyone has come to the conclusion, even normies and liberals have come to the conclusion that he didn't commit suicide. I think we can rule that out. So I think that there's two plausible theories. One is that he was killed by the Clinton mafia. And I think the theory that I like the best is that he was killed by the Clinton mafia, but only because the white hats allowed him to become a sitting duck. And so they could kill the Clinton mafia, in another crime and in a sting operation. Mm-hmm. So I like that theory. I think it's brilliant. I think it makes sense. But the other theory that's plausible to me is that he's not dead, and the white hats, maybe took him out during the New York blackout, and he's in protective custody. But if you follow Q and if you trust Q, you know that the Patriots are in control. And so, Joem has said that if the white hats wanted him dead, then he's dead. But if they didn't want him dead, then he could still be alive. And that's always been my thought since I heard that he, allegedly committed suicide. Mm-hmm. I trust you. I trust the plan. I really do believe the white hats are in control. So if they wanted him dead, it wasn't because the cabal wanted him dead. It's because they allowed it to happen and they wanted him dead too.
Yeah, this guy can take down 80% of the global government. I mean, he is the highest profile prisoner ever to be incarcerated, in my opinion.
And if he is dead, that means that they got enough information out of him and, witness testimony and whatnot.
And we have it all.
Anymore. And I think there's still a good chance that he could have already been tried and executed because, look at John McCain and George Bush Sr., I believe both of them went through military tribunals and were executed.
I do too. I do too.
A lot of what we're seeing is delayed. We're not seeing things happen in real time, and Q talks
correct.
Well, we're watching a movie, we're watching theater. And another thing that I want to note that
I had forgotten
about, but it's legal for the government to spread propaganda. So if the white hats are making it appear that he's dead and he's really alive, they can legally do that.
They absolutely can.
Yeah.
That is
great.
That's a great point. It absolutely is a great point, man. And like all of the stuff that's happening on the periphery around it as well. Liz, did you see that Ghislaine, or what's her name, made an appearance yesterday?
She made with the book. Yeah.
Yeah, with the book, and it's been three years since they're saying, just 2 days ago, 3 years since anyone's seen this person in public, and she shows up at an In and Out burger, like in and out, like, okay, all right. And then she's reading this book, Matrixxx. What was the name of the book? Was something to do with death of CIA operatives or something?
Yeah, hold on, I have it right here.
I've got it right here. So Jeffrey,
I was like, are you kidding me?
Jeffrey Epstein's gal pal, Ghislaine Maxwell, spotted at In-N-Out Burger in first photos since death. There she is.
The book is called The Book of Honor, The Secret Lives and Deaths of CIA Operatives. I mean, look she's posing.
Yep.
And
she's posing.
We know that members of the cabal communicate with books. Harvey Weinstein was carrying a book when he went to court at one. I can't remember which book it is. I'm sure you could Google it right now.
And Assange was carrying a book?
That's right.
Right? That's right. And then And then we had Kevin Spacey use the coffee mug to send a signal to the royal family. And then he also did a photo op with the pizza box. And I believe that was a message to his other pizza loving, child raping cabal friends. So that's, they communicate by holding up books and, other, objects that are symbolic to them. But I mean, give me a break.
There's a canary palm.
You guys know I used to work in entertainment. I used to work in the tabloid business. And I worked with photographers all the time. So many photos that come out of Hollywood, they're staged. They're publicity stunts. Celebrities will call the Paps and be like, all right, I'm going to be at this restaurant at this point in time. And it's. So
look at this picture. You got Good Boys in the background. You see that in the background? It says Good Boys. You got her sitting there. She's got, I'd like to look at that ring, but look at the.
Flashing the ring.
Look at the canary palms right there.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Epstein's Island.
Doesn't it? And remember Q's canary palm post, right?
Oh, right.
When does a bird sing?
Yeah, when does a bird sing?
Yep.
Wow. Interesting.
But it's just really interesting that she shows up after not being seen in 3 years. And remember, we were talking on, I think it was Monday, about her being at the place in Boston. And then the guy who owns that place came out and said, no one's at that house but my cat.
Yeah.
And then the next day, she appears at the In-N-Out Burger reading a book about deaths of CIA operatives. It's wow.
Compare this picture.
In-N-Out to read.
Look at
Who
this
just goes
picture.
to a fast food restaurant and sits down. Oh yeah, that looks real relaxing.
Look,
it just doesn't happen.
She looks like discombobulated and disheveled here, and she looks like almost like quote unquote perfect here. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that interesting? Huh. Looks like somebody's sitting with her too.
Completely staged.
Yeah, I think you're right, Liz. That was completely staged.
Of course it was. I mean, she's smiling. I mean, she's posing. The first photo. She's posing.
Yeah.
What's with the two cups? Who's she?
I don't know.
Why is there two cups?
Well, that's what I'm saying too. There's one
maybe this
is all over this.
Or maybe she's having a meal with the edit or with the journalist.
Right.
Probably is.
Right.
I mean, more than likely. I mean, that's kind of what the scene looks like, right? A setup for a photo op.
An interview.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you wanted to look at this picture too. Here is our president. It looks like it looks like they're in mourning. Ivanka and Melania.
It looks like he's giving a whack-a-mole to the Pope.
Look at Ivanka and Melania. They're like, we're mourning this right now, and he's like, he, and the Pope is like,
Trump's like, I'm taking
OMG.
you down.
And the Pope looks like he just got like grounded for 3 weeks.
Yeah, like he's been scolded.
But Liz wanted to talk about this picture real quick too. I think, right?
Well, there's the red shoes again. Look at the red shoes right behind the Pope.
And that's kind of an eerie picture, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It almost resembles the red shoe pictures that we looked at here. Here is a Soros right here in the upper right-hand corner right there.
And also zoom in on that picture. What's in the background? So he's wearing the red shoes. And if you zoom in on that picture.
Oh, look at somebody's. Yeah, let me zoom in.
Are they, why is someone laying on a table? Are they sacrificing that person? Are they going to eat that person? Like, what the heck is going on there?
No, it's just a simulation, Liz.
Oh, of course, it's always.
Somebody just was tired and they just had to take a nap.
This is what we call expanded drama. We're all acting.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
They love their red shoes.
And they love their symbolism. They love to throw it in our face. And what Liz was saying yesterday is absolutely true. They need your consent, whether it be by, that's why every vote counts. Don't forget to vote. They need your consent by actual consenting or implied consent. And you know what implied consent is? I'll give you an example. I got a notice saying that FPL wanted to put a smart meter on my house, and I'm like, I don't want a smart meter on my house. First of all, they're not UL certified. I think that was the tact I was trying to take with the older people here in Florida, because they all look for the union label, all that. And I said, look, they're saying we're going to be by Tuesday at between 12 and 4, and we're going to put a smart meter on your house. And so I actually said, if I don't say anything, that's implied consent. So I called them
Yep.
up and I fought the smart meter until I actually moved, but they finally put one on. But I fought the smart meter for over a year, I said that I do not consent to this, and I don't agree with your implied consent, and there's nothing they could do about it. I was in the newspapers and all this cool stuff, but yeah. It's fun, but look at these
I may
guys.
have made a little stink like that too with the smart meter thing.
Tom Hanks is the man with one red shoe.
Oh, I haven't even seen that. What's that from?
That's a movie.
It's a movie.
It was
It's rated PG.
Old 40s movie too.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
a sleuth
don't- I
movie.
didn't-
Yeah, this was a
They did
remake. Tom Hanks
comic.
remade it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's Bill Maher. Look at, oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah, that's a normal outfit.
That's normal.
What the heck
Yeah.
is he wearing?
Well, you know what they do, what they've been doing, if you guys are familiar with Milano Blahniks, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it
Yeah.
correctly, with Sex in the City.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the shoe to have, with the whole red underneath of the shoe,
Yeah.
because that shows you're so rich, because these shoes are so freaking expensive.
Yeah.
But this is a status symbol. So this way, they can't always wear the red shoes, but here you can have any color shoe, but it's always going to have red underneath it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that shows you're
Souls.
part of the club.
Here's Kid Love Production. That's Bill Maher. That's a. Isn't
Why,
that a
why
normal?
would you like what? Why would you name your production company? You're a grown man, and you're naming your production company Kid Love Productions. I mean, just that within itself. How does that not give people pause?
And then he made that movie called Pizza Man, where he Donald Trump killed him. Remember that?
Yep.
Bill Maher's
And
character
he
was killing Donald
and,
Trump.
and remember the I can't remember the. Oh, you don't play this? Okay.
Should I play it?
What film
Here we
is
go.
this?
Let's play this.
I guess the only thing left to do is to kill you. Bulldoze the Ambassador Hotel and build the tallest, ugliest skyscraper in LA. With you entombed in a cement foundation.
You bastard. You'd gridlock Wilshire Boulevard, wouldn't you?
I wanted to beat you, Elmo. Beat you at your own game. But if that means I have to kill you, well, so be it.
No, you can't. I love him. No.
Not the sausage, you fool. You'll blow us all up.
That's the idea, Donnie. Shoot me and we'll all go. Come on, get back. Ollie, in the corner.
No, Elmo. Let's negotiate this. I'm a master negotiator.
You still don't get it. All I want is my 1523.
No, never! You can have the palace. You can have the plaza. You can even have the Taj Mahal. But never will I give you your 1523.
All right, we'll do it your way. But this is for Vince and the kid.
Wow, huh?
Well, that's prophetic.
Now that not to mention it's a terrible movie.
It's a terrible
wow.
I don't think
been
the
a
kids
Trump
love
hater
that production.
forever.
Yeah, that's pretty gross, man.
I mean, it does kind of give a little bit of an overview of maybe how they thought of Donald Trump a long time ago.
Well, Trump's never been in the club, and they've all
Exactly.
that. But what they didn't understand is that President Trump had planned for many years to take all these people down.
I know.
Right.
Well, you can watch the interview, like watching the interview on Oprah and stuff of him, of how they're consistently, goading him to run for president, and he's all being coy, like, no, I don't really think I'm going to. Somebody else will probably do it.
Even Hillary Clinton said someone like him should run for president.
Yep.
And he
Yep.
became president because no one knows.
They didn't think he could win.
So I wanted to pull
Well,
up
they've been
Q
playing
post.
Dare.
Q post
Yeah.
1523 is about Google, because he said 1523 in there. So 1523 is about Rod Rowe knew about Google Gmail drafts that are now on the news. In fact, the same day Hillary Clinton's email investigation dropped from Grassley, we had a shooting in a Dem-controlled city. And look here's the Google bike. Do you remember these guys? And then it says, access kills, POTUS in good spirits today. Morning strolls are refreshing. 2.5 hours Q. So I just thought that was interesting when you hear something. Just, I like to Google it or Q drop it. Yippee. So very
Wasn't
interesting.
23 the Skull and Bones number?
Yeah.
322.
322 and 23, 32. They flip them around, but this is as we see this unfold in front of us, Liz. Like, and you've obviously been on this on this journey for a long time. Like with some of the people that are talking to you in the background, like what's kind of like the reaction that's sort of going on out there with maybe not necessarily the nervousness, but just the people that have they been like coming to you and saying, wow, the president is really doing this? Are they excited? Are they feeling more empowered to maybe reveal more things about what was done to them, or just maybe a little bit of a question like that?
Well, people in my personal life are now fully realizing that I'm not crazy. So that's
Me too.
I got a message from my friend the other day or yesterday, and he's like, I hope your inbox is full because everyone's calling you, apologizing to you for calling you crazy and being mean to you.
Exactly.
Oh, that's nice.
But I think even my parents were still, I've been talking about Pizzagate for 3 years, and the stuff is so crazy. And my parents are relatively woke. They're not really online, though, so they don't see everything that we see, and they don't follow Q. They just hear about Q from me. But I think before this stuff and a lot of these big revelations happen, my parents are even starting to look at me like, what the heck is this? Is she talking about? And but people are starting to realize that this stuff is real, and that I had a lot of friends that actually understand that the sex trafficking is real and the elite pedophile rings are real, but I think they also didn't fully understand the satanic ritualistic abuse and Satan worshiping and the other evil things that they do to these children. And now that so much more is starting to come out, people are starting to realize, oh wow, like everything you've been talking about is real. And I've also noticed that since Epstein's been arrested, and again, we have an avalanche of information coming out, we have a lot of people with blue verified check marks on Twitter now talking about pedophilia and Pizzagate, which is amazing because, 3 years ago, I actually was verified on Twitter because I was a journalist in the mainstream media with a 20-year background, with a perfect record, I would add, by the way. And I was the only blue check mark journalist that I know of that was talking about Pizzagate. And of course, I got unverified. And then I got kicked off Twitter. So It's nice to go from being the only journalist with a verified check mark, talking about Pizzagate, talking about Epstein, talking about these elite pedophile rings, talking about the island. It's nice to go from being the only one to now a bunch of people are talking about this stuff. And so it's just so nice to see. And now that this stuff is really coming out, people, they're bolder and they're getting the courage to come forward and talk about this stuff because the stigma isn't as bad to talk about Pizzagate and elite pedophile networks, because clearly with all the information coming out, it's true.
It is true. And it's sadly true. I mean, I didn't want to be right. I mean, Liz, it didn't want to be right.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us wanted to be right about this, guys. And we were
and also, yeah, it is. And the point, the point of a lot of this, and you kind of, maybe Liz, you hit into this a little bit, but the point of all of it is that there doesn't currently exist a place for anyone to speak their truth that is involved in this. So part of what I see with maybe the whole Q movement opening up and everyone coming to this conversation, which is such an unbelievably broad conversation, yes, but as well as being people being willing to be spotlighted in a way to share what's going on with them in a forum where people can love them and believe them, as opposed to be argumentative and combative with their story. Much like whenever you're trying to red pill someone, it's very, very, you're not going to red pill someone if they're not wanting to understand the information. And it's similar whenever you're trying to get someone to explain to you what's going on. It's really hard to get a true picture of what is going on with them if you're acting towards them like, oh well, yeah, this but that, and trying to throw them off with a counterpoint. as opposed to an encouraging environment where they can feel free to just share, others can listen, but not really be there to critique and analyze and criticize. Just take the information, do with it what you will, but don't turn it around and weaponize it against the person that is trying to disseminate it to you. This attack the messenger theme has kind of got to go away a little bit to get out past the breakers.
Yeah, and Liz, we've got a lot of great comments here. It's Dutch Q Patriot saying, Liz, you're a great patriot and on the good side of history. Thank you so much. We've got Lori out there saying, love you, Liz. I have told you before, you are my hero. I mean, there are so many. Liz, you are a good woman. Thank you. That's from Charlotte Wilcock. You've got some great comments here, and I concur with every single one of those. And I've been a fan of yours for a long time. And there's going to be a change in the conversation, and I feel it coming too. And Liz, I asked you to see. We're going to go. I'm going to this Digital Soldiers Conference. I'm going to be on a panel regarding censorship at this event right here with these people, such as General Flynn, such as George Papadopoulos, such as Michael Flynn Jr., Gina Loudon, Joy Vila, mystery guest, Bill Mitchell, Ivan, Doug Gillies, Derek, these people. So I can get you a $500 VIP pass if you can go. I would love to have you there.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I think I could try to work it into my schedule.
Good. And I know Ann Vandersteel's going to go. I've got Dustin Nemos going. We've got Shady going. Karli's going to try to go, but she might need some patriotic help, which we'll get her. But they wanted me to go ahead and invite people that are, I guess, censored on Twitter, but people that I know. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So I think we're going to see a big change in the conversation. And these are the sponsors. I want to thank them. And right now, just so you know, so the lawyers are trying to make sure that General Flynn can go. But either way, if he doesn't go, he'll be on the big screen. He will speak, but they're trying to get it cleared through the judge. So stay tuned for that. We should hear fairly soon. But Trump hates Google, and there's a new search engine, Yippy, Y-I-P-P-Y, that people are using, and they're going to probably raise about $60,000 to $100,000 for General Flynn. And there's some more people to come. So very interesting. So I'd love to see you there. Shady's going to be there, right, Shady?
I am so excited, Matrixx. I'm coming out of my skin about this.
And, I spoke to George Papadopoulos last night over DM, and he said, see you in Atlanta. And then he followed me. I mean, this is getting big, guys. We are no longer going to be, quote unquote, like we talked before, the deeper we get, the more unrealistic it becomes. But we're no longer going to be called conspiracy theorists. We're going to be called conspiracy therapists. So just amazing stuff, right? I mean, so honored. I hope you can make it, Liz. Let me know as soon as you can, because I want to, give the good news, when you're confirmed, and like I can go, and I'll tell them, and I'll get all the arrangements for you for that, for the ticket. So with that, just very amazing conversation today. Karli, I know you've been a little quiet today. I actually went ahead today, guys. If you guys go to, the mods will drop it in there. If you guys want to give $1, $2, $3 to General Michael Flynn at the Michael Flynn Defense Fund, go ahead. If you can, $99 is the ticket, and all proceeds go to General Flynn. If you're in the Atlanta area, or if you can get to Atlanta on the 14th of September, get there. Okay, guys? JT Wild, I wanted to just share this real quick. I was crying this morning when I read this, just so you know. If you want to read this.
Yeah, this is pretty intense.
This is why JT Wild fights. And it's, mods, go ahead and let people read that. It's amazing. If you get a chance, it's a short read. But it's an amazing read. Okay, guys?
You want me to read it?
Sure, let's read it, Shady. I'll put it up here.
I mean, I can read it if you'd like for me to. It's okay if you don't. Okay.
Liz, you don't mind, do you?
No, go for it.
All right, here we go. This
was a story posted by JT today, and this is pretty amazing. This is why I fight for our children to be safe. When I was a kid, all of my cousins lived on the same block. We played Star Wars, we rode bikes, and we had a blast together. It was a hard time for my sister and I with our family, so playing with our cousins was our only escape. There were only 2 girls, my sister and our cousin Elsa, or Elisa. When I turned 12, Elisa and her brother Jeff moved away about 20 miles, which to us as kids at the time was a million miles away. A year later, Elisa was killed. My sister and I were destroyed, and my sister took it very hard, and still does to this day. An evil man, who I will not mention his name, did some work on their house, and I guess saw her there. She was late for school one day after getting fitted for her new braces, and he ran her off the road on her bicycle and brutally killed her and buried her in the orange groves. A huge search took place, and she was found days later. The wife of the evil monster found Elisa's tardy note in the van after news of her disappearance and turned him to police. He was quickly convicted and sentenced to life. My Aunt Wendy was having none of it. She was instrumental in a Florida bill that said, if you kill a child, you die. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're dead. She went around the country and was on Donahue and I believe Geraldo Rivera as well, and she became a warrior for all children. Because of my Aunt Wendy, many predators have gotten what they deserve. She was the OG of Lisa May and Liz Crokin, and 8 years ago, the monster that killed Elisa was executed. The whole immediate family was there to witness it, and they do not talk about it. 4 years ago, Elisa's brother Jeff, now a prominent builder for the state of Florida, donated a library in the school. Elisa went to, and kicked him into high gear. The start of Elisa's Greatest Wishes Foundation. Just look at the amazing work that is being done. Just today, I found out that Elisa has an elementary school named after her. She is a hero for our community, and her story will carry one as to what one little girl can do to change the world, even from beyond the grave. When we take tragedy and turn it into miracles, we truly are doing God's work. We need to protect our children, and we need them in a better world. But that world is up to us as adults to create. Our actions now will ensure the world they live in. Please share the Elisa story and website. Please find it in your heart to donate to Elisa and Jeff's foundation. And they are truly helping children in need and bring the light of love and healing to the world. Tag at PULTE in RTs and let people know that about my sweet cousin and how she changed the world.
Oh my God.
Guys,
that's
now
why
right
Shady
there
had to read it. Guys.
Is a terrible, tragic story, yes. But look at where we are now and look at what the tragic story does. And this is what the cabal doesn't want you to see. These are things they don't want you to see. They just want you to see the disaster. They want you to see the bad that happened. They don't want you to pay attention to what we as people do whenever we heal. And when we heal, we build things. And we stand in honor and we stand in love and we stand together and we share stories and we breathe them in and we breathe them out and make them a reality for all of us. All of humanity comes together on a story like that. No one who is a human being cannot be moved by a story like that. The people that are not moved by that story are the people we got to watch out for, because they're the ones that are out there doing the things that this person did to this beautiful little girl a long time ago.
Like,
but
Liz
in the end,
is a digital soldier fighting for this. We are all digital soldiers fighting for just Shady. Well said, brother.
Yes, we are. We are. And JT, thank you for sharing that this morning. That was pretty amazing. I went through that right before the show today, my friend, and
look what just came in.
I really appreciate you opening yourself up to share that story. I know that wasn't easy, my brother.
That wasn't easy. And I just got a knock at the door while you were reading that, and guess what just came?
What came? The shovel?
The shovel.
Guitar shovel? Are you gonna play it?
Yeah. What are shovels used for?
Is he showing it?
Digging.
Yeah, it's on screen right now. So we've got the shovel, guys, and you guys made it happen. This was done by the people. It looks like people are trying to help Karli, too, to help Karli get a ticket. Susan, thank you so much. That's $50 to Karli. We've got the Oxygen Life. Always glad when I can listen to your show. Pumps up the patriotism in my heart. Where we go one, we go all. Thanks, family. So I want to just, because JT kicked it off with that, and Shady beautifully read, and I love our JT Wild. He's phenomenal. And when people attack people, they don't know people's stories. Liz, what is the reason? Why do you fight?
Well, I
pretty
was a
big
victim
question.
of a sexual assault.
Oh God. Okay. God
I was
bless
a
you.
victim of a sexual, not as a child, but as an adult, and I almost died. It completely changed my life. I still have health issues from that. And let's just say that my experience was the beginning of my awakening. And because I went through the tragedy that I went through, I was able to see and understand that these sex trafficking rings are real and that they exist. And you have to also understand that I worked in Hollywood for years too. So over the years, through my job and then what happened in my personal life, I got bits and pieces here and there. And it kind of prepared me for fighting this fight and for being on the front lines of this fight. And because I had these things happen in my life, when the Podesta emails came out, I had enough information to believe and to understand that Pizzagate is real and that these elite pedophile rings are real. And I believe that exposing this is my calling by God. I believe that I was put on this planet to expose this. And if I hadn't been through the life experiences I had been through, it would have taken me much longer to understand that this stuff is real.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Thank you. Karli, why do you fight? Did she leave?
It's sad to say that. No, I'm
There
here.
you are.
I'm just trying to get the words together. I mean, everyone thinks I laugh and joke all the time, but my mother basically sold me to my grandfather, who was a pedophile, and he also attacked her and her sister. And the fact that she just left me with them and went off and had a life of her own and got the big payoff after he died, that sticks with you.
Wow.
Went through years in trying. I mean, the minute I was 15, I got out of the house and got a little crap apartment on 11th Street and Avenue A in the city. And I even moved to London for 2 years because I thought maybe I could make it in music there. I mean, I've been all over the place. And when I started seeing all this stuff coming out, it got me in it,
Hi guys.
the memories just keep coming back, and it's like, I can't let this happen to somebody else.
Right.
So I mean, I joke a lot because it keeps me from crying. But like I've said on your show many times, when I first heard that this was actually a thing and it was going on, I was basically on my face crying for a week and physically ill, because I was like, I'm not alone, but I can't keep this horrible secret to myself, because this is really happening, and it's been happening. So that's my fight. And if I do it and you find my laughing annoying or whatever, believe me, it's a defense mechanism, but I also enjoy, making things lighter for people, because some people, like, they listen to music and then they're open to a message. Some people can take this and they'll listen to a message. I find that I get more people to listen to the message when I come with them with laughter, and it's just the way it works for me.
Well,
I'm a goofball.
It is.
I'm a goofball.
What, Karli, this stuff when I was going through my personal experience and trying to overcome it, a good friend that did a lot to help me out said to me, never lose your sense of humor. And look, none of this stuff is funny in terms of what happens to children. However, it is so important through these dark times and learning these dark secrets that we keep our sense of humor. And I think that remaining positive and keeping your sense of humor and laughing when it's necessary is so important. It's so important. And so never apologize for that. There's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? These people are freaks and they're ridiculous and they're running around. Bill Clinton, a former president's running around in a dress and red shoes. I'm going to laugh at that because that's ridiculous and it's funny, So
yeah, exactly.
it's important. It's important to laugh. It's important to have light moments because this stuff is so intense. And if you don't take breaks and if you don't take the time to find joy and to laugh, it'll just eat your soul up.
Amazing, and that's well said. And since this is kind of and I've got Liz's Instagram here. Make sure you get over there, Instagram.com/Liz Crokin, Crokin, LizCrokin. That's Instagram.com/Liz Crokin. And then we've got her right here. Make sure you subscribe to her over here. This is how I kind of keep up with some of the Epstein stuff and make sure I understand what Liz is talking about, because she's got a lot of great news. So get over there and subscribe to her over there. And since we got JT Wild's shovel guitar today, there it is right there. It's the Justin Johnson Signature Series shovel guitar. It just came here. Cutter, oh my God. Karli, looks like you're going to Atlanta.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. But I was just going to say, I really like that wall poster you got there.
Yep, you can get that on my Teespring store. That is a tapestry, right? That's the Matrixxx. And if you notice, look at the Matrixxx says it's where we go when we go all in the Matrixxx code. It says trust the plan. It says make America great again. It says storm has arrived. It's all Q stuff and POTUS stuff. So since this, Karli, I know I want. Man, I'm torn. I'm gonna play Karli's song. Let me see.
No, I was gonna say no. Anybody can go see my song on my.
Here we go. Karli Bonet is "I Got the Spirit in Me" is the one I want to hear. Here we go. Enjoy. And Karli, God bless you. Liz, God bless you. We'll be right back right after this song, guys.
He'll never let you down.
Wow, what a great song to play on this song. Sandra, I got it. $10 on PayPal. Thank you so much. Pigeonberry Vega, how you doing? For Karli. God bless you all. It looks like Karli is going to Atlanta, Shady.
I think that Karli is going to have a hard time saying no now, isn't she?
Nope, she can't. She's got to go.
I have to go now.
We're going to get to meet Karli.
And
maybe Liz.
We're going to get the great Liz Crokin there and Vandersteel. I've got Dustin Nemos. I've got Just Informed Talk. We actually might be on that show soon, guys. So there's a lot of collaboration going on, and that's why Liz is here, because we're all stronger together. And,
absolutely.
You know, and if people don't understand what where we go one means, or united, not divided, or together you're stronger, or you forgot your power. If you guys don't understand how to decode those Q posts, you know, just hit me up on a ITM at intheMatrixx at 3x's.com, and we'll have a chat. And you guys are all beautiful. This is the most red-pilled audience, along with Liz's audience. We are the most red-pilled audience on YouTube. This show will rebroadcast if everything works out right. I had some issues yesterday with yesterday's show, but it's 17 p.m. on the Eastern. So going back to you, Ms. Crokin, how are you doing? So do you have any? Did you see? I wanted to pull it up, and I had it before we went to break. The U.S. repeals propaganda ban. We talked about that. Digital soldiers. There was this one. We talked about the Pope guy. There was tapes released from, where is it? Let me just find it again. But there was tapes released from Epstein himself.
What kind of tapes?
Epstein tapes. And thank you guys very much for sharing why you guys fight. I couldn't read that, Shady. That's why Shady had to take over. The reason why I fight is because of my kid, and I've always been a question kid, and I've always known something was wrong. That's why I chose the name intheMatrixx. Okay, and so these are the Epstein tapes, unearthed recordings from his private island. This is a 2003 interview that provides a rare glimpse into the figure in his own voice. And did you see these yet?
No, I didn't see it. What is no?
Let's dig together. We love live digs. Apparently, it says, but while we speak here in the gazebo steps of the Crystal Blue Sea area, rather than up in the Grand Man House, why don't we speak? Why speak here? The reporter asks, and he said, from the gazebo steps from the Crystal Blue Sea, rather than up at the Grand Main House. He said, too many girls. And with that, this came.
I realize what I am. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I'm not a helicopter pilot. What I'm really free to do is I'm free to follow my own personality. So I'm free to accept. I can't make, as we discussed yesterday, I can't be totally wacko in what I do. It affects lots of other people who will get angry at what I do. So because then it affects me again. But on my own island or on my own ranch, I can think the thoughts I want to think. I can do the work I want to do, and I'm free to explore as I see fit.
Wow.
Free to explore as I see fit on my private island, yeah.
And ranch. Pretty well.
Yeah,
basically saying that, you know, on his own ranch he can be wacko. Funny, he says, I can't be totally wacko what I do. You're rape, torturing, and eating children. Doesn't get any more wacko than that. You have a painting of a president wearing a dress. Hanging your wall. Like,
and it looks like there's
wacko, I don't know what is.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be some other paintings coming out too. From what I'm seeing, there's one of George W. Bush that's come out, and I think there's a few others.
Maybe there's one of Obama spraying the American flag coming out too.
Well, you noticed that the one picture of Anon pointed out last night, the painting of Bill Clinton there kind of shows he has a sixth finger on his right hand.
Yeah, so, if you go to my Twitter, I retweeted it so it would be at the beginning.
Okay.
The same artist did a painting of George W. with a sixth. He doesn't have the sixth finger. The one with the same artist, but he's
what's the sixth finger mean?
That's the same Nephilim.
Yeah, the six finger is what the people that may or may not be human have.
It's a reptilian finger. It's like it didn't grow all the way.
Oh my gosh, guys!
But some are saying it's Nephilim. That's part of, like you're saying, the bloodlines.
Well, the people that are in this belief structure, they fantasize about it, like they kind of like they project that they want the sixth finger. And so some of their artistry stuff depicts them with six fingers.
Oh my God! Look at the George Bush picture.
It's so creepy.
Yeah, she painted that too. But look, the two paper airplanes, the down blocks.
Representing
He's got scorpions on his. He's got the scorpions near his shoes. If you blow that up near his shoes, and also if someone blew up on the shelf, they think that might be a picture of JFK Jr. as a baby on the shelf in the Clinton picture.
Oh, up
really?
at the top.
Wow.
Yeah, all the way on the top shelf.
It kind of looks like James. It kind of looks like James. No, James Dean is what I thought first, but now you zoom it in, it looks like a female.
Yeah, it looks like a female to me too. But it could be a male as a female because Bill's dressed as a female. I mean, these guys are perverted. Who knows?
But both of these paintings have all kinds of symbolism and everything in them. Yeah. It's she was just letting it all out. But see, they have to expose themselves for their spells to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I have a video of an exorcist from years back, and he's saying a lot of these MK Ultra or anyone that's demon possessed, a lot of people, they think they've been tortured so their personality splits, and that lets the demon come in and still possess it. They have to be invited. So you do bad acts or anything, they'll latch on, and then they get more and more room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Even though a person's sitting in church every Sunday, they got a demon latched onto them because they're doing some sick, twisted thing behind the scenes. That's how these people are able to sit in a church during a funeral.
Yeah, usually the people that are the loudest.
Here's that video of him. He was doing all these different...
I haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah.
Which placed him
this is
in
crazy.
the White House.
Let's play it. Here we go.
He's like
covertly recorded off-air transmissions from the Bush-Clinton presidential election campaign in the 1990s. We can see that Bill Clinton was nothing more than a puppet to the puppet masters, which placed him in the White House. Bill Clinton's demeanor seems to be similar to a person who is under a hypnotic trance.
Can we do any more? We do some more. We do some more. I'll do some more for him.
You can hardly hear it, but it's like he's saying they're telling him where he's going on, to promote himself.
I actually remember
and he's
that, Karli.
Oh, here we go.
That's my stupid Bill Clinton. Right.
You let him out of the closet again. You always do when I'm here.
I stuffed him back in.
But you can see, like with the video, they'll say, this is where you're going. This is where you're going to be promoting, for running for president. And then he just repeats what they say. The sound's really bad because it's very old audio. But he just repeats, it's just like, yes, master. And, it's like he has no mind of his own.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And then real quick, let's just mention Hong Kong again. We stand with Hong Kong.
We do.
Shady, do you have, or Karli, do you guys want to do an update on that? Any news?
Well,
I mean, look at these pictures. Amazing.
Well, also, you got,
go ahead.
We have aerial satellite photos of that soccer field where they have trucks and tanks lined up. And it looks like they're going to, scoop up people and take them to a Korean FEMA camp. It's very scary what's happening to these patriots over there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they've successfully closed transportation down at the airport. I was actually on the other night. I was on or they did for a couple of days. I think they've moved a few of them now, but they are peacefully resisting the Chinese government inserting extradition treaties with Hong Kong so that the Chinese government can take people from Hong Kong back up to mainland to their normal, what would be considered a rehabilitation areas, is what they call them. So that's what they're fighting there. And Anons, QAnons, people, freedom lovers worldwide need to have eyes on them. They are flying American flags. They are singing the national anthem of America. They are demanding they be recognized for their freedoms and not to be taken under control by the complete overarching totalitarian regime that is China right now, which is China is looking like Karli said, they are making some moves there with artillery and large equipment.
Look at the 4 a.m. talking point. Hong Kong protesters call for Mulan boycott after Star went public in support of police. You know, who cares about Disney? Disney's a distraction, but let's see if they got some stuff here. Let's take a look.
Well, you saw that POTUS tweeted about this. He said Xi could end this in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well,
he basically put the warning shot out. Dude, you better not hurt these people.
Well, he said yesterday he called Chairman Z, or called him out on the carpet twice yesterday before he left for the rally last night, and he said straight up to him, if you go and sit down with the organizers of the protest and have a conversation, I'm sure you could come up with a resolution in 5 minutes. He said it twice. So he's, he's shaming him on the world stage, which makes, the Chinese government crazy over there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's losing face. You can't lose face.
Yeah. So the president is, exactly. So they're going to, the Chinese government, if the president keeps this up, will probably turn on him at some point.
That's right. Wow, guys, what a great
On
show
G.
we had today. It was amazing.
Look, we went overtime again. We always go overtime.
We always
on
go.
Fridays.
It's usually called. We should call it the Matrixxx Groove Hour Plus.
Plus whenever.
Plus whenever we're ready, because nobody controls what we do. Liz, do you have any final words before we squeeze out of this Matrixxx? I mean, I really want to thank you once again. I hope you enjoy coming on the show. We love having you.
Thank you. Yeah, I just, you know what, like I keep saying this, but we're still just at the tip of the iceberg. This Epstein story is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. There's going to be thousands of names tied to the ring and or directly involved in it coming out. So many people are going to go down, and we're going to start learning of the horrific crimes that they do to children, the torture, the sacrifices and stuff. So just be prepared, brace yourselves, be prepared to, be there for people that, have been oblivious to this or have used to believe this stuff is true. So stay tuned. People can follow me on YouTube and Instagram, as you showed earlier, but I think every day there's going to be more and more information coming out. So
information waterfall for sure. Wow.
August will continue to be hot.
Right. So let's have you back on again when you can. I obviously cannot wait to meet you at the event in Atlanta. I'll figure out how to get that ticket over for you, but it's the $500 VIP. You will get to meet Papadopoulos, General Flynn, Lieutenant Mike Flynn Jr. I mean, there's some more people that I'm kind of hearing that are going to be pretty amazing that they're trying to get now. So it's going to raise a lot of money for our general.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
Who's the mystery guest, I wonder?
Who is the mystery guest? I don't know.
You got me.
I don't know.
I don't know yet.
Come on, I'll get you to spill. I'll text you later.
Text you later. Liz, thank you so much. I love you so much. God bless what you're doing.
Love you guys too.
And thank you for sharing your
so
story too. I just can't. I couldn't even read what Shady read today because I just get so choked. I'm a real person, guys. I care. I've got a daughter. I care about each and every one of you. I love you, Liz, and I love you so much. Thank you. Wow. And then, with that, we got Karli. Karli, do you have any famous last words?
I'm overwhelmed that you do that and then I start laughing immediately.
He's trying to balance.
That's my ringtone for her, guys, just so you know.
Bell,
Yeah.
He rings the bell and I start laughing.
Mm-hmm.
But we went over a lot of dark stuff, but it has to be told, and it has to be told again and again and again. And all you Patriots out there that are helping me go, and I saw all, I'm speechless, and thank you so much. And I'll have my phone with me, and I'm gonna live stream whatever I can for you guys, because I'm going now. I can't let you guys down.
You're going. We're gonna buy your ticket today, so you're going.
Oh, my chest hurts. I'm overwhelmed.
Well, you've been
laughing,
censored.
Man.
So this is about censorship. This is about being a digital soldier, and you have been that. Liz has been that. Shady, everybody are digital soldiers. I wish I could get everybody there. And if you can get there, I'd love to meet you. I cannot wait to meet you. And I just tell you right now that this is going to be an amazing event. It supports an amazing man who took a rubber bullet, guys. He will be okay. In the end, all will be right, in my opinion, with General Flynn. But he has such a large court cost, and that's what we're trying to do. So today, the Matrixxx Groove Hour did donate to General Flynn today. We donate, pretty often, actually, and we're going to keep doing that, and we're going to support this event. And thank you very much, Karli. I love you so much, and we'll talk after this.
I love you guys.
And we got JT's shovel, Shady.
Matrixxx, we got the shovel.
What are shovels used for? Digging.
That's right. We got it, and we're gonna get it painted a little bit. And we're gonna get it painted a little bit, and we're gonna have a good time. So, Shady, you got your final words before we head out into this Matrixxx, my brother.
We got to jump through, guys. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Liz Crokin and to Karli Bonet for coming in and for sharing their stories and for making the connection back to the experiences that you had in your lives to make it relevant for other people. So I hope you guys recognize that the stories that you're sharing with others are going to give them strength. And I've worked with different people that have gone through a lot of stuff, and it really is tough for them to get their strength and their power. And people like you are lighthouses. You're lighthouses on the coast, and whenever they see the light, they can come closer to the coast to get on shore, to get off of the ocean of dysfunctionality, because that's kind of what they're trying to drive people into with the way they hurt you whenever you're young. We have a large conversation to have, guys. We love to have different people here and different aspects of reality, and all of the different thought forms and philosophies are all coming together with Q and the president and what's happened in the past. And the current conversation is getting ready to amplify in a way that I'm not sure anyone understands at all.
Yeah, we're not going to recognize it. It's going to be
I agree with that 100%. Like, it's going to be something we don't even know and we don't even recognize. So be open to the opportunities. We're creating a world where your opportunities matter, as opposed to the world where you're forced to do this over here because you have to eat. Instead, we're going to be getting into this world where we're doing what we want to do for the love and the vibrant life of our daily realities, not because we just have to survive, guys. And they've put us in that mentality of survival, and we're getting out of it. And that's part of our healing. And so thanks to these guys for coming here and really give an eye-opening day of the connections back. And Matrixxx, it won't be that much longer. And me and you are going to be back on the air at 6 p.m. Pacific or 9 p.m. East Coast time tonight for the Matrixxx, or for the Q Lounge Live. And so everyone come back over and join us for that. We're going to dig a little deeper and go over a lot of stuff that's been going on for the last couple of weeks. So with that, Matrixxx, I'm jumping out first. I'm right behind Karli and Liz, and we'll see you in just a few minutes on the other side.
That's right. We got the Q Lounge Live, new time. It is going to be 9 p.m. Eastern, guys. Do not miss it. It is the Q Lounge Live. It's seen in over 100 countries. It's Shady Groove. It's his show. I ride shotgun. And I'm addicted to the Q Lounge Live. Press 17 if you love the Q Lounge Live and Shady Groove. And we forgot our power. We're taking it back. We know our power now, guys. God bless you all. It is Friday, and we are going to head out of this Matrixxx, guys. I tell you, what a day. Thank you, everybody. Liz Crokin, Karli Bonet, Shady Groove. IntheMatrixxx with 3x's.com. We do have our contact form fixed, so if you guys want to send us messages, head on over there. We got some new stuff coming with that as well. Stay tuned. DigitalSoldiersConference.com. Get your ticket. Or go to MikeFlynnDefenseFund.com and get over there and donate. We love you all very, very much. Karli is going. Dustin Nemos is going. Don't forget to grab your C60. Links below. If you want a shirt, links below. We got the shovel guitar. What a beautiful week, guys. Much love, Patriots. See you tonight, 9 p.m. Q Lounge Live, right here, the same channel. Peace.